Wow, wow, wow. Okay, so got things together, got my setup together. At least I'm hoping. Um, tried it in another way. They said did it didn't say it was supported. So, um, movie review. I've been hearing from other movie reviews that it's been like it's unique for it for what it is, and I suppose. But for me, I don't really have a lot of expectation when I see a movie. There was Straw Dogs. Thought that was going to be awesome, but yeah, that's in the background. But Deadpool's a pretty good movie. A good premise, I suppose. At first, when I first saw it, when I first heard about it, the controversy, I was like, this series is it sounds like it's gonna be a bunch of cursing. Like it is definitely a lot of cursing, but it is. It's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. It's not as raunchy as I thought it was gonna be. Like there's portions of it in there, but I was just thinking like it was just gonna be like porn, you know. But it turns out it wasn't. It's a decent film. Um, Decent points. Very simple, but very well done. Um, the characters are nice. Characters are likable. Um, they are unabashedly themselves, which is really good because it's like they're not like trying to be more than what they are, and they're not trying to be less than either. You know, they're not mediocre in their characters. Like if they are brooding, moody teenager, they're brooding, moody teenager, and they do that pretty well. Like Deadpool is like the one who pokes at people, like pokes fun at people, but it's like he doesn't come across as overly annoying. He just kind of floats around in terms of like the interaction of the characters. I think. Um, he's just I think he's pretty good, especially when he's Ryan Reynolds. um and it kind of it's just like a tale of love, a tale of um finding love, but it's not like overly cheesy. It's like a realistic kind of love, like um where it's like they care about each other because of themselves, and it's not really like a superficial kind of love. It's like they got chemistry, and maybe the actors, but definitely the characters. I haven't seen a single comic, at least not many of the Marvel or DC comics, so I don't really know too much about them or their stories. I mean, I've seen a YouTube video about Deadpool since he can't die. Um, like I believe he has cancer, but his healing ability doesn't it like keeps the cancer from killing him in a sense, and so it's almost like it's hard for me to describe it because it's like he's in this perpetual state of being and I just learned this from like why don't we die, I mean why do we die, and from what I understand it's like your your cells have so much to grow, like it has a limit of growing, and every but yeah, it's like it grows and it replicates, and your cells die, and then they make new copies and stuff like that. You just continuously refresh yourself until the limit is reached. I can't remember what it's called, but sorry. But yeah, it's very interesting. And so they said the thing that does have like these extra, I want to say telomeres of the DNA. What it does have is cancer has it, but the thing is we don't know enough about cancer to start injecting people with cancer. Uh, um, but for him, it was just funny because like after re-watching this, um, he has cancer everywhere, and so his the healing factor that was forced on him. Well, he joined the program, but they weren't out to actually help him. I mean, yeah, yeah. So but yeah, it's definitely a good series. Good se- Man, and it's like from what I remember, Ryan Reynolds he was like in a Wolverine movie and it had Deadpool in it, but it was like this reimagined Deadpool. Sorry, it's trying to stab the camera. Um, and so it had a different um Deadpool esque character, I suppose. And there's this new Deadpool. What was it? 2014 that came out. Um, it was uh, let's just say, from what I understand, he had a more stronger hand in the directing and just the production of it. And so it's great. It's funny. It's not overly crude. Um, it's something you need a strong, a mature mind for. But ultimately, it's a good movie to watch. A movie that's not gonna take itself too seriously. At the same time, has that right dosage of like premise. So you got Wade Wilson, I believe. And did you know he's actually a parody character of Slade Wilson, which is a dead. It's not Deadpool. Deathstroke. Is it Deathstroke? I could be wrong, but it could be Deathstroke. And yeah, the premise is that he gets this super because he has cancer, and in order to beat this cancer, he goes through this super not super soldier program, but it's like a super program of some sort. And so after that, he wait, oh man, well, hey, that's pretty. Man, and, it may I could be wrong, but I feel like um and I believe there's this guy named the Cosmonaut. He made a similar statement where people who know their stuff, who don't just read like the most popular comics, but know like comics heavy to the point where they give these characters justice. And I feel like Ryan Reynolds, he does this character justice, where because from what I understand, he's very witty actor, very charismatic actor, and I don't really know where. Oops. I really hope that wasn't like in something. But yeah, he's very charismatic, very thoughtful. Oh, okay, different. Um, and so he uses his wit and charm to amplify the character that is Deadpool. I like to think I don't know too much about Deadpool apart from the movies, but yeah, pretty decent movie. From what I could tell, what is it? Rotten Tomatoes, 84%. What is it? Right? I don't know. I have no idea. But it's gotten good reviews, and I think it's decent. But at the same time, I'm like I'm not gonna heavily put too much stock in like a movie critic review because it's gonna be like do they know, and how do they know that the movie itself isn't like heavily stocked in uh the difference in culture and stuff. Like this is great, It's comedy. This is journal things that we enjoy in terms of entertainment. But there's other things that play in terms of like a story. You know, it's not always the standard of what we think comedy. I mean, good entertainment is, or good entertainment as we call it. But yeah, ultimately, Deadpool is very good. It is for me a decent movie. Would it be the best? Not really, and I guess that's just my personal bias. Like, it's good. Like when I watched it, I was like, hey, this. I didn't leave unsatisfied. So, watching this video now, Deadpool two. It, I guess I can have another video for that. But for the most part, I enjoyed Deadpool too. It was just I have another one. Yeah, I have another one. So yeah, Deadpool. Guess what? 3.8 out of 5 for me because again it was a good movie and rewatching it wouldn't be a movie I'd watch again even though I have watched this again. It's like one of those movies that after a few years I'm like, oh, okay, what happened in this movie, let me rewatch it. Like it's something that you can watch, not something that like prompts you to watch it over and over and over again. I mean it's good in its own right. It's deep, very good. It's like above average, so that's why I say it's definitely above average. um Anything annoying in it? I don't know. Anything annoying? Not really. Nothing that comes to mind. I mean, just Ryan Reynolds, where he comes off as like kind of strange, but I don't know. I like to think that's a natural side of him. I like to think. Otherwise, he's doing it very good. He's doing the acting very good. But apart from that, not much. You know, he nothing seems forced. Nothing seems contrived. It seems like the I forget the other guy's name, the bartender, but he was the white guy. Well, most of them are white, but apart from the grandmother, um, the blind grandmother. But I'm not even sure of her either name, stage name or role. But the bartender, he seems. I could be wrong, but I think he's a comedian. So it seems like he's very quippy. His quips are very snappy. And I'm pretty sure they had a deleted scenes where they do like a back and forth, where he just continuously goes and goes and goes with the descriptions of his face because his face is all mangled from the cancer and like his mutation. The cancer screw like his mutation. As it says, it kills the cancer cells as much as it's coming back. So it's a perpetual state of like disfigurement of his entire body. Um, or rather, it just looks gross. And then so he just describes it in a comedic fashion and gives a bunch of clips and such. But no, I mean, people like him. I think he comes off as like it's like his vibe comes off as extremely sarcastic. But one thing I did like was that the premise was serious. Like even though he was quippy, he was it did again it wasn't to that point where it was jokes like how sometimes and I think that's one reason why I didn't necessarily like the Marvel like Ragnarok so much because it was just so many jokes. This one had a good balance of jokes where it was like, okay, this is him being silly, and where other people kind of bounce off his character, and there's times where he's serious and times where he's silly, and then it balances well. But apart from that, I don't know. I enjoyed it ultimately. So 3.5, if not a 4 out of 5. So.